Welcome to the best of 5. Oh, I gotta hide Rogue's name now because he's not here. Best of 5 other semifinals match. Gonna get into the sponsor talk and the money talk in just a moment. But before we do that, to the top left, it is the Red Zerg from Splice. Give it up for Solar.
Woo! Then in the bottom right, some call him the God of Terran. Some call him the best Terran, or even the best StarCraft player in the whole world. This is INnoVation.
INnoVation's been in some rough shape recently, but his TVZ's always looked very solid, so I'm excited to see how this goes. But before we get into that, of course, quick reminder of how the money, what the money, etc. First off, thank you, Laser SCQ. He throws $5 into the prize pool. And again, that note, codes are messed up, guys. We don't have any cool codes to offer for today, but there'll still be $100 added in afterwards. So right now, the prize pool currently sits at $260. That will realistically be $360 when it's all said and done. Be cool if we could get that up to an even 400, I'm just saying. But we'll see where we end up at the end of the day. For these players to get a lot of money, because of the extra money income too from Luckbox, who we'll talk about in a moment, top 4 players are getting prize money. This means even though we just saw Hero get eliminated, he will still get some prize money from today. Same with either Solar or INnoVation. But of course, the big bucks are in the finals. 50% of the prize pool is going to go to the first place finisher of the tournament. And we'll see what that looks like at the end of the day. But thanks to Match Arena for helping us make that possible. Crowdfunding with you guys is always a lot of fun on the channel. And Luckbox for adding $100 to this prize pool. But if you want to see Luckbox add like $200 or $300 to the next prize pool for the next BSTL Lite, guys, or just give us money to make a whole new tournament with, we've got a 30-day period which we're working with them. It's not a trial thing. We're not looking for something longer. It's just come and go. And I want to milk them for every dollar we can. I know it sounds terrible, but it means we get more content for it. So check out their links, ! Luckbox in chat, ! giveaway. Make sure to follow them on Telegram, Twitter, all these other things. That way we can justify getting a couple more bucks for more awesome stuff.
Oh, yeah. Nice shill, Rifkin. Short,
Nice shill.
concise, to the point.
If I was a girl, they'd have called me Shilly. Or
I don't know
Turtle,
why
I
that got
suppose.
me, but it did. Yeah.
Anyways, INnoVation, going back on this, he's played mech, he's played bio, he's made both look good in this matchup. I feel like ever since patch hit, Terran players have been split down the middle. They're either mech or bio again, and more on mech than not.
Yeah, but INnoVation has been one of the guys that has been making bio work, or one of the few players that can. There are some Terrans that struggle with control and multitask, and you have to be mechanically pretty great to bio and have it work against high-level Zergs like Solar. But obviously, you know, you have to be great to beat Solar in general. It's just that, you know, mech requires a little bit less control, but still, you know, it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination to win TVZ series, especially best of 5 against a kid this good.
Yeah, and this is another thing where the format may make the world of difference. This could be a 3-0, or maybe it'll be a reverse kill, depending on how things play out. Either way, before the attacks begin, thank you very much to Brother Blame! 400 bits, take my beats. Or, I don't know, I said that wrong. take my beats. Casters need tips, too.
Thank you very much, mate. I'll take the
thank you.
bits.
Thank you kindly, dude. Of course, yeah, that reminder that I will be splitting all stuff we get while Maynard's here 50-50, guys. Got to give him some love for coming on the channel. But the Hellions run in. There's not a lot to stop them. The Queens do pick up one of the Hellions already, though. So good start for Solar's defense, but he's got to keep those drones away from those flames.
Yeah, but see, these are Mad Max Hellions, and they can fight back. They got those knives all over them. Ling's going down, and actually, it led to that is in all seriousness a very lovely defense there from Solar. Only really losing the Lings. And it is going to be bio play from INnoVation. We got Stim on the way with third.
That would be so cool if these skins actually gave Hellions like the Roman chariot effect. Like as they drove by things, it would like drill into their sides and stuff.
Oh, that'd actually be, because Hellions move so fast, it'd be super imber if Hellions damage things by running into them. You would just right click and draw circles through the middles of clusters of Lings.
It's like banelings that don't explode. You just like run them through things and hope for damage.
Yeah. You just run them forward, they're just doing damage.
All right, more buds in chat. By the way, says Riff, sorry, but how do I donate to the prize pool? All right, so let's make this distinction. I know you guys are bored of hearing it, but I want to make sure everyone's clear. If you type !Matcherino in chat and you log in with your Twitch ID to the top right, you can donate through Matcherino to the prize pool, and that will directly benefit the players. If you donate any money to the channel, though, that will not go to the prize pool. Even if you add a message like, hey, Riff Maynard, $5, can you please add us to the prize pool? We will not. We're greedy. But also, because we lay it out so clear-cut and defined, we hope you guys can figure out the difference yourselves.
That's right. We're greedy. We're unprofessional. We talk to each other about stuff that's not StarCraft during a StarCraft cast.
How dare you?
I mean, like, early game ZvT, there's 12 workers in each base, and they're like, cast the game, dickheads! I'm like, wow. We'll get there, we promise. But the Hydra Den, speaking of casting the game, let me just do that real quick. Hydra Den is on the way here for Rogues, for Solar rather. Different Zerg, I'm sorry, they all look the same to me. We have a Hydra Den coming down with the melee upgrade, so everything looks really, really regular for Solar. INnoVation as well. But this is a regular bio game, which you are not usually seeing. Like Rifkin mentioned, at the highest levels of TVZ, there is a lot more mech. But this is going to be really fun. So it's just going to be straight up Marine tank. Is he going to get that second factory? How quick is he going to get that second factory?
I hope he does soon, because the thing that makes Marine tank so viable is the tank part of it, not the Marine part of it. Also, 47 is reporting that the new emote is online. Now we got the fail emote, so there you go. You guys are upset with something that happens? 0 out of 10 it, baby. It's Ace 0.
Oh man, the Zergs in chat are getting calling me out for being racist. Sorry guys. My bad.
Death to the swarm. They shouldn't be able to vote.
Purge the unclean in holy fire.
Oh, he focus fires down the Banelings.
Hit on the
Good
Banelings.
control out of INnoVation. Pops up every single Baneling. Now in Solar can't fight.
That siege tank was not an auto attack. That was a deliberate target fire from INnoVation hitting the middle of the cluster of those Banelings. That was a sick fight from INnoVation. And look at this. Now he can continue to pressure.
Yo, I've seen this people do the target fire with Little Mines too, and it looks so calm and collected out of the pros. You try and do this in your own game, you panic, you just end up doing nothing, and the Marines die because you're not center stepping. Meanwhile, INnoVation's doing 3 things at once, making it look easy. This fight should not have gone this way.
Nah, indeed. Nice move from Solar to try and flank around, get those that tank, but no. INnoVation barely losing any Marines here.
Oh
Still keeping that tank alive. Are you kidding me?
Look at the resources lost. Look at the units lost. This is insane. This is so sick. I'm nerdgasming over INnoVation so hard right now. The only reason his attack might stop here is because the medevac's finally out of juice. So he picks up to leave. But he did so much damage with this attack. Killing the Queens, kills Creep Spread, it kills Injects. Like, this was a very good attack out of INnoVation. Not that Solar had a bad defense, just seriously outplayed by some of the control from the tank to the Marines to the dancing. Yikes.
If INnoVation killed the hatchery, I would have felt a lot better about it. The Zerg did get and that was obviously a really, really good trade for him. But the Zerg still has that 4th base. The Hydras do find some of his tanks here, and they do pick off 1. He catches most of the Lings and makes sure that the Banelings don't get morphed either.
That tank's not in position though, so as he runs forward, it's a little bit iffy. The Marines can contest the Hydras though. The nice thing about Hydras is like they're great in big numbers, and low numbers like this, not so hot. But the tank's set up now, and the Marines are gone, so this isn't going to work out for INnoVation. Got a little bit over eager chasing this Hydras.
Yeah. The Hydras do win that engagement against the Marines, and the tanks are out of range of that hatchery. So once again, he gets deflected, not being able to pick it off. You see that INnoVation is... he's ahead in upgrades, which is really good for the Terran. Generally, the Zerg is going to be ahead in upgrades, but the Terran's got 2-2 finishing before. He's actually going to have +1 mech upgrades as well with a 2-2, which is going to be fantastic for the Marine bio that he's been doing. And he does have that second factory, by the way. So he has that. It's right by here by the 3rd, just being shown on camera. So he's going to have more than enough tanks to deal with the Hydra comp, but we're not going to be seeing Hydras forever. In fact, Solar is dropping that infestation pit, and he's going up into Hive.
By the way, Banley drops hit the natural base. Sorry, just barely missed that, guys. But 8, 9 something workers go down. This one Zergling's just going to clean up all the low SCVs.
Nice.
This is actually, it might still stay on Hydras, though. This Hive tech might, I mean, we'll see Ultras at some point, obviously. But this might actually just lead to Blinding Clouds as the faster choice because the tanks will be an issue. Solar supply blocked really badly through that drop going down, too. Yikes. He's 5 Overlords on the way to make up for this. That's a mistake.
Yeah. Quite a bit of a bank there. 3-3 immediately starting for INnoVation with +2 attack on his tanks. I love how far ahead these upgrades are for INnoVation, but the Bane Rain really upset his worker count. He is starting to replenish. But
But
INnoVation's
Maynard
going to be looking
tearing
towards
his
that
mules.
fourth base. Oh, yeah, okay. He does need that fourth base, though. And speaking of fourth bases, we got that engagement here at this hatchery again. Just a small cluster of Marines coming up, and that might be all he needs to get this hatchery. Bree splitting his Marines, but he is on creep. Will this be enough from INnoVation with his Banelings rolling in?
This got a little bit hectic. We didn't see some really sick target fire like we saw in the past, but this still ends up... The trade's not bad for INnoVation. It's not great, though, because Rogue is... Not Rogue, excuse me. Solar is moving towards Hive Tech.
Oh my god, racist.
I know, all Zerg look alike to me. Except for the ones that use skins. Alright, he's forced to pick up and go back to the main. I mean, for INnoVation, it's trading, and if he was letting his macro slip behind this, that'd be a problem, but oh, Solar with the oh-so-classic misclick of a Swarm Host.
Ah, that accidental Swarm Host. You'll always see it eventually.
Yeah, they just fingers are flying too fast, man. Press the wrong buttons. Yo, Tatisip. Sorry, I'm saying your name wrong. 1,000 bits says love your stream and the casters. Well, I'm heckin' glad to hear that, dude. Thank you for the bits. As well as Taco stuff. 13 months on that resub just in time, but oh, we got another bailing attack set up.
INnoVation just caught the end of that, but was he looking? We got a, yeah, that is a planetary. No running past that. Is this Hydras or is this Banelings? It's Banelings. Okay, so he is going for the mineral line, and it looks like he did actually manage to bamboozle INnoVation here.
Oh,
see a lot of SCV deaths. Oh boy.
We should? Did I zoom in too soon?
And there it is.
Okay, a little bit awkward. That wasn't handled well, though, because he was busy fighting over here. So only 7 SCVs died for that? That could have been so much more. That being said, though, Solar does defend, and he does the fuck, and he kills the tanks once again. So, yeah, less workers killed, but better army fight taken for the micro. The attention span was definitely split in a good way.
Indeed. Cleaning up INnoVation and resetting his tank, like not resetting, but like keeping his tank count minimal has been really, really great for Solar. The only answer that INnoVation has for the you know, the Ultra Tech until Liberators start to come out, which they are starting to come out now. I mean, he made some before, but I mean like continuously producing. It is that point of the game. The only real answer is like a good tank count until those Ultras get those upgrades. So.
Yo. This is a map, though, that does favor tanks in a lot of ways. There's a lot of positioning on terrain. I've seen so many games where there's 8 tanks. You know, they're shooting for 85 a shot. Even the Ultras just go down because they can't get up this ramp. Like, INnoVation's not out of this yet. These tanks are still a very, very dangerous part of the game. Yeah,
with 2 Factory, you can replenish them very, very easily. Ultras are starting to hit the field, though. Chitinous is almost done. +3 armor is going to be a little ways off, and 3-3 is done for INnoVation.
Solar's got good creep spread, but not great creep spread. INnoVation's done a really good job with as bad as his attacks have been going. He has kept that creep at bay. This isn't across the map. It's not reaching his own fourth. Yeah. And it's kind of like a good subtle way to gauge a TVZ. Like, how that creep spread looks is kind of a good-ish on how the game's going. Yeah. Just imagine if they were like, the tanks that he's lost so far in this game were here with this push. Like, oh man, the Marines see this run by of Banelings. That is a ton of Lings down here for INnoVation. He needs to take this very, very seriously. The wall is up. Tanks are being sieged now, and with the Marines, should be able to deflect the Lings, no problem. Meanwhile, some awkward leapfrogging coming over here. I love the way he set up the Liberators to cover the tanks, but that Blinding Cloud's going to shut down a lot of these tanks. Nope, it's not a Blinding Cloud. Well, it is. Combination Blinding Cloud and abducts. So many Lings, not enough Marines to cover these tanks. They're going to go down. Isn't it so cool that a Viper can do so much? It's so... Rifkin. I'm just saying, like, you're trying to make Twitch chat upset with you. That was one Viper. What the fuck? Okay, anyways. My balance complaining aside, INnoVation's in some serious trouble. His tanks were the best thing he had going to deal with the Ultras. Yes, the Marines could kite down the Zerglings all day and maybe even take on the Hydras, but they don't stand a chance against these Ultras. Not with their armor. Nah. They have chitinous. +3 isn't even done yet, but we are seeing how effective Marines are against the Ultras. And it's just too much from Solar. GG. So INnoVation, like, as much as we were praising him in the early stages of the game was all him, man. He had a wonderful... The best engagement he took in that game was his first push. Then after that, he didn't really have many good engagements after that. Nah, went downhill quick. All right, guys, it's game 2. We got a Bizzle Reef. We're going to play the commercial break now since we actually pushed off last time. So we'll see you in 2 minutes for game 2. All right, so while there's been some jokes about balance complaining, I do want to also point out the odd, rare, rational discussion where people are actually calmly discussing how INnoVation's great push, first push was great, then he didn't do any economic damage after that. Like, It actually warms my heart to see there's some people with the brain in chat. So kudos to you guys. But yeah. I like to stir the pot. You guys will hear it on time to time, and it's definitely always on purpose. To the bottom right, with this stupid good race, am I right? It's Splice's Solar.
And the top left, this race is actually favored in this matchup at the moment. I'm bringing it back. This is INnoVation.
Look, we've literally got logic with a K in chat. We don't need it in game too. All right.
Just looking at the stats, Rifkin. The TVZ is actually 51% turn favored.
I care not for your statistics. I care not for your numbers. I know nothing about
just
math.
like INnoVation. Just like INnoVation. Doesn't care about numbers, man.
Actually, what's interesting to me, though, is I do want to break those. I wish we could break those down further, because I'm curious what percentage of that really is mech wins versus bio wins. And I do have more comments on that. But we also had more buzz. Cheer 1,000 bits our way. Thank you very much, dude. He says, was meant for players, but I can't use Matcherino, so you guys get it for the great job. Thank you very much, man. I'm not sure what your problem with Matcherino was, but you know what? I'll take it. I enjoy tips our way from time to time. Also, yo, okay, so this guy came in earlier for us, which was nice, but Tatasip, I think it's Tatasip.
He
just added $50 to the prize pool. This puts the prize pool currently now at $310, but I want to emphasize there'll be another 100 added to that later. So this is basically a $410 prize pool. That is so sick.
Damn.
That's gonna be some nice payouts. Like, even fourth place is gonna be some nice money at this point. But of course,
yeah, buddy.
That's 50% of the first place winner, making this tournament first place prize $200, worth more than the total prize pool of most tournaments out there. It's just like a once-off little weekly thing. So thank you guys for helping power this up to be so friggin' sick.
It's BTSL Lite. It's not even BTSL full.
Yeah, it's not even BTSL Rifkin, aka BTSL Heavy.
Oh, come on now.
I'm not laughing, I'm crying.
Come on now. No self-hatred. It's a dark and horrible path you're walking down here.
Nah, I love seeing people get involved with it, because you know what? Here's the thing. There's the memes about the dead games and whatever. But I get to see this on a week-to-week basis, where we have people, they support us as casters, and somehow there's still people with money to support the players and increase those prize pools. So fuck the haters. You guys are awesome. Today's great, and thank you very much. But
actually, when people say dead game, unironically, they actually cease to exist to me, because I'm like, okay, anything you have to say after that actually doesn't matter.
It's like that Black Mirror episode where you just like block the people and they just become, like, you can't hear them and they're fuzzy. And
like everything that they have to say after that matters less than nothing to me, because I'm like, okay, so you're a wrong person. That's incorrect. So why would anything else you have to say be of any value?
I wonder what. Actually, you know what? I was gonna take this political. I'm gonna stop. Let's just. No.
Don't go down that path.
Yeah, we can talk about a lot of dumb things, but that's probably like the worst one. Anyways, Hellions poke at the front. INnoVation, it's Stim once again. I want to make it clear though, guys. Bio, I think, at its peak in this game is still better than Mech, but we've just seen a lot of brute force out of Mech that works versus Zerg. And I think that's a very interesting choice for INnoVation to specifically not go Mech versus Solar, because Solar has shown a fair bit of weakness to Mech, actually. So, I mean, whether it's INnoVation's own playstyle or lack of playing against his opponent, I mean, the guy is good, don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of the bio.
I'm a fan of it. I like the bio. I think in the right hands, bio is extremely good, but...
yeah, well, you're also in the upside down part of the world, so I mean, what does that really say? Go eat some Vegemite and be quiet.
I'm gonna get some toast and Vegemite and think about my life. Snaro 35, I actually don't remember. I'm telling you, man, like, people cease to exist to me very, very often on, especially on Twitch chats if they say dumb stuff.
Yeah, I wish I could do that more than we already do, but all right. Banelane S is coming down. Solar will be ready for a push. But again, like we bring it back to last game for INnoVation. His first attack was really sick. He had amazing focus fire. He knew where the threats would be. His positioning was good. And it was his map choice to go to Abyssal Reef, a map that I would argue has crazy good Terran positioning potential to it.
Indeed. Now, the Liberators weren't too effective for INnoVation last game. The harassment potential didn't really find any openings, and Solar's defensive network did a pretty good job there. And they also, you know, weren't in high enough numbers to deal with the Ultras in the end. But really, like, the thing that killed INnoVation wasn't the Ultras, even though they were sort of the nail in the coffin. It was everything before that. The, you know, the Lings, the Banelings, the engagements where Solar chose to fight. INnoVation sending in these 4 Hellions without Reaper, but, yeah, those Queens just say, don't touch my babies, poop out some more creep, get out of here.
You know, there's that saying, trying to fit like a 10-pound shit in like a 5-pound bag. I feel like that's kind of creep tumors in a nutshell. Alright, Liberty gets shut down. This will be nice. No back-end harassment to worry about. But one of the other things for INnoVation that's going well as well, this didn't actually do that much damage to the Hellions. They are still standing, so they can support these Marines really nicely. Get those 2 tanks down, wash off the Zerglings a lot easier and a lot quicker. But while this goes on, Solar's on his way to a very fast infestation pit.
Yeah, also INnoVation's pushing just before combat shield and 1-1's done, which feels like a little bit of an anti-timing.
Poor freestyle Fakir, you just read what Vegemite is. Mate, you haven't tasted it, you don't even know. No focus fire on the Banelings initially. He swaps it now, but he's not going to kill enough of them. They're in the dead zone of the tanks, and INnoVation's attack has got to be picked up and get the hell out of there, because this failed pretty badly. Oh no!
Yeah, it certainly did.
He left submarines behind too. Left 4 dead.
I mean, he had a full medevac, so he couldn't really save them anyway. He could pick up 1. And there's that hive from Solar. This is reminiscent of a lot of, you know, ZvT not too long ago, like I guess around like the meta of like Montreal, maybe even Valencia. Like a lot of Zergs were going for that really fast hive, like pre-8 minute.
Yeah, do you remember Nurchio back when he was doing like 6-minute hive timings and stuff? Like, you would just
specifically the EU Zergs.
Win.
It was specifically the EU Zergs that showed me the style when I first got to see it. It wasn't the Koreans. And they, yeah, I mean, they recognize that late game Zerg is pretty good, and if they went to it pretty quickly without taking too much damage, like if they took a really good engagement, like they did just like Solar did just now against INnoVation, you have a lot more breathing room to do things like this.
Well, normally this is the weak spot. This is that timing for Terran players to attack. You do a lot of damage, and because you've banked up all this money going to Hive and spent all the money on Hive, you're found without units. But that's not the case. Solar's sitting on 70 army supply, a very healthy number of Banelings. And of course, if he takes fights on creep spread, it's likely to go well for him.
A really good Zerg like Solar. I mean, INnoVation is you know, a lot of people will say he's the greatest player of all time, probably the best Terran player right now. But when a player is as good as Solar at ZvT, they actually don't look like there's any. It doesn't look like there's anything you can do to them, right? Like, does there look like an opening for INnoVation to do damage to Solar right now? The creep spread is nearly at where he takes his 4th base, by the way.
Yeah, this for me just looks like a done game. Like, it's not there yet. Maybe Solar messes up and INnoVation does the sickest thing of all time, but his tank count is so low. There's gonna be Vipers out in just a moment too. And, oh, there's no Widow Mines. There's nothing to clean this up.
He's got a big ball of Marines here. They're on creep, though, and this is going to be an investment of Banelings to bust down this wall and head into the 3rd base, or even the, you know, the 4th if he was feeling really spicy.
Geez. This is production, too. This is a really bad spot to get caught for INnoVation. Tanks are going down to this, too. Tech labs, reactors could go. Forget the SCVs. The wall's gone as well. It's going to supply block INnoVation.
Yeah, that's a pretty huge supply block there. INnoVation is scanning and trying to go for counter damage. Meanwhile, Solar's actually loading up an Overlord on the outside here with some Bane Rain.
Oh, lordy.
Looking for that natural mineral line. INnoVation should have seen it because he just activated these upgrades, or maybe it was a hotkey. There it is. Pulls back.
All right, a little bit awkward because they unload in a not great fashion, but this still is a problem on the left side. INnoVation's gone for the push with the right, so screw it. I've taken enough damage. Let's cause some back, but that's not going to happen as he gets flanked once again.
Yeah.
The things are barely dealing with this. The SCVs are getting slaughtered, and he's not actually in a position to do damage. He kites Bailey's into the tanks, and that's it.
Normally you go, all right, there's a ton of Lings here, which means that there's an opening for my army to attack, right? That means the Lings aren't home to defend, right? He doesn't have an army to fight against my army, right? Nope,
wrong,
there it is.
Wrong and wrong again.
Yeah. Nope. There's a Viper there with full energy. There is Banelings, Lings, and also Ultralisks here. Solar has split his forces brilliantly, beautifully, and he is in poised position to take this game.
Solar even messed up there with the attack, and still that went well for him. I don't think INnoVation's got a lot of hopes to replace his worker count. 32 are dead. That supply block got, I guess, fixed by losing a lot of army. Awkward. I'm just hoping at this point this is like Rogue, where INnoVation goes down 0-2 and then comes back to win it 3-2. But this is looking so good for Solar. Like, his control on this matchup has just been fantastic. That hive went uncontested. Now he's sitting here with these beefy-ass Ultralisks. Too much armor to handle. I mean, INnoVation's making Marauders, by the way, something you almost never want to have to do if your focus is on tanks. But he can't get the tanks. He doesn't have the money. He can't get Liberators. He's trying to. So Marauders have to be made.
Yeah, and it's a little bit awkward. I mean, Marauders have the ability to soak Banelings and also to, you know, do the extra damage against the Ultra, but other than that, they don't really have any utility. 3-3 is on the way for INnoVation, so he's going to have nice upgrades shortly, but that doesn't, you know, when you're down this much in army supply, that doesn't really help a ton. I think the power of Bio is splitting your opponent apart from several angles, and INnoVation hasn't really been able to do that. Every push that he's done has been in one spot. What's up?
But I don't know when this happened, but Laxer, L-X-A-E-R, I don't know how to say that name, added $100 to the prize pool.
Wow.
So now it's at 410, but really it's at 510. Yikes. Today the players are going to get spoiled hard.
Damn straight. Getting spoiled with the games, and now the players are getting spoiled with that money, that kashish.
Kashish. Well, sheesh
this is what I'm
right.
talking about.
There's no defense. INnoVation actually gets here unloaded in the dark. It wasn't seen. The Lings respond pretty quickly, but 10 drones is not that much damage in the grand scheme of things. Not right now, at least.
No, he's not done yet.
I
Okay, now he's done.
Yeah.
Now he's done.
Oh, God. That one Baneling just sent everybody flying.
Yeah, they're +2 Banelings with a lot of hurt Marines from stimming there, so yeah. But I mean, so I think the power of Bio is like multitasking, right? Hitting in just several spots at once and not being in one clump. Unfortunately, INnoVation has been in one clump for a lot of this game. Speaking of which, case in point.
I love the Parasitic Bomb and the Liberators. The Corruptors will clean this up anyways, but it just does it faster. He didn't need the Blinding Clouds, but the Ultras are getting kited down. However, the reason there's no Zergling support is that they're all in the main. They're all in the natural. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and INnoVation's going to have to tap out of this one.
He's trying hard not to. I mean, he's kind of dealing with the Lynx, but he's lost so many SCVs. I want to be the guy to complain about Mules, but I don't think Mules will carry you through this mess. Oh, I said Planetary would live. I was wrong. He didn't get the repair until it was too late, it seems. But, oh, wait, maybe he will.
Oh!
But no caustic spray from the Corruptors. He chooses to kill the Medivacs instead. Either way, this still is just brutal. Like, savage and brutal.
The Orbital actually might die. It's pretty low.
Yeah, it's burning. He's got no repairs on deck. Well, INnoVation, if this goes down, it's certainly all in.
I should be right. There we go.
Okay.
So he's sort of like, he survives for now, but yeah, not for long, as I was going to say. He died. He actually left the game before I finished my sentence. I was going to say he survives for now, but not for long. The Solo was in a winning position there.
Sora was actually in a winning position for a long time in that too. Like that was a game that really did escape from INnoVation. Maybe there's a world where Solar messes up and INnoVation gets a chance to come back, but not there. Now it's INnoVation's map pick once again as we get to game number 3. It could be the last game in the series. I'm hoping it's not, but it might be if he loses this one.
So what does he pick here?
Well, luckily he doesn't have to worry about a brand new map pool.
I wonder if he'll go for Battle on the Boardwalk or something. It's a pretty good TVZ map.
It's a pretty good Terran map in general. Actually, I'm a little surprised we don't have that. We didn't have that picked already. That is like the go-to a lot of Terrans choose.
Not me. I hate that map. Even though my race is apparently favored on it, I just despise playing on it. Glad to see it go.
So he's chosen Blackpink for possibly his final destination. I really hope it's not, but maybe. Either way, let's get the players invited. Let's get everyone in the game. Where's Sin? Where are you? A little Russian friend. There you go.
What if he's big, though? Could be a big Russian friend.
That's true. I don't know a lot of tiny Russians famously. They're all big guys, bald, Ivan.
Yeah, I'm of Russian descent.
All right, well, that's good for you, Maynard. I don't know how to respond to that. Just like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, am I small?
Technically, yes, on the webcam.
Smaller than you, and yeah, on the webcam I can look small. Oh well.
Well, you guys remember that Maynard's smaller than me. Let's get into game. It's Blackpink. We'll see you on the map. All right, we're back, and the best of 5 continues, dominating the series. Would be an understatement. He's completely killing it. In the top right, 2-0 so far. It's Splice's Solar.
Yeah, he's looking really good. It's going to be up to this guy to win the next 3 if he wants a chance to face Rogue in the end. This is INnoVation.
So, once more, we've blown the prize pool out of proportion, but I gotta give some love again to Lakesir. I'm sorry that if I'm saying your name wrong. He left no comment with it, but still, between him, Tatasip, and a lot of other contributions, the fact that this has grown to 410, which is, again, brackets, really $510 for prizing, is awesome. Luckbox threw in $100 too. Like, I just love that this went from, hey guys, maybe we can scrap up $100 and make a tournament happen, to blowing it up to being something that's like the size of a monthly finals for a lot of tournaments. And we've got 2 more BTSLs before it's all said and done, before the actual BTSL season starts. I was gonna say completes, before it starts. So I hope we'll see some awesome action, some good players, and more as those come up in the near future. We had, of course, to take a small break because of all the big events that are going on, the qualifiers, but now we're reaching that point where those big events are actually going to be happening, and we can plan our schedule a little more accordingly. Either way, next BTSL Lite is scheduled for Sunday the 28th. I know that the days keep changing. It's all over the place. I think I'm solo on that one because you'll be busy, but the last and final one will be on February 3rd, which Maynard should be back for.
Yes, it'll be probably a little jet lagged and probably rather wrecked. But I'll be there. I will arrive.
Okay, you can always make up for being jet lag with a couple of drinks.
Oh yeah, that'll help.
I think the rules are if you don't have a personality, you either wear a Rolex or drink a lot of vodka.
I feel like I got a personality. Is it a good one though? Jury's out.
Well, I think like the greatest person with a good personality still suffers from jet lag. You're gonna have a hard time putting up a smiley face for that. But anyways, INnoVation is on the ropes. It's his last chance. This is like the best Terran we could possibly muster up, and it's so sad that he's down 0-2.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't want to say INnoVation's been making mistakes. More like Solar's just been playing really, really well.
You know what? I was
gonna say that the way that INnoVation's been playing Bio, I feel like is not the way Bio is to be played. He's been very, very passive with it, or pushing in one big clump.
Well, so that's where it gets interesting, because the parade push style he's doing is not so bad versus Hydras, which is classically what a lot of Zergs do, but Solar's not been doing Hydras as his core composition. Also, I was just going to say, this is the one copy pass that I totally approve. INnoVation, take my energy. INnoVation, take my energy. And then we'll pretend I'm playing the Ameno song in the background, because, yo, INnoVation needs it, guys.
Yeah, for your all you Terran fans out there,
well,
he is the beacon of hope.
I was serious when I said it, and I'll say it again. I think Rogue versus Solar would be a fine ZvZ finals, but I would love to see INnoVation versus Rogue. That would be my dream matchup out of all these.
Well, either way, the final's going to be good.
Yeah.
But, you know, everyone's got their own preferences. So Hellions out here for map control for INnoVation. We'll be seeing that Stim should start around about now if you wanted to go for Bio. And I haven't seen it just yet, but
I'm sitting here. I'm like, it's like Christmas. It's the night before Christmas. I'm like waiting over my gifts, and I'm just like, there's no tech lab on that barracks. I'm just like, it's gonna be club bitches if ever Mac.
Maybe Mac. It's looking like it. That's a good start for a Mac build. The Overlord's coming in for a bit of a scout. Doesn't see too much. Sees the Viking and dies. And oh my god,
it's key
where's that armory?
Oh, there's a Asian. I was gonna say it's key that he didn't see this though, because at Solar's vision, this looks like bio. He sees the tech lab on the barracks, all looks well. But it's Cyclones, it's a Cloak Banshee. I mean, I don't even necessarily like what INnoVation's doing for his opening here, but it's not gonna be bio. And there's the armory.
I was gonna say that armory needs to come down, because if he is doing this, he's gonna want Hellbats and he's gonna want upgrades on those Cyclones. Solar is going for, I mean, the unit composition, you hit the nail on the head, Rifkin. Like, a lot of people will be like, Lingbane Hydra, the Hydras do so much. The Hydra's OP, that's why they're getting nerfed. Their upgrade's getting split, even though it's a really weird sort of non-nerf. But the thing has been the Lings and the Banes for Solar. And he's just been swarming and crushing INnoVation time and time again. INnoVation's pushing a little bit quick here with these Hellions and these Cyclones. They're unupgraded, but he does have the ability to turn them into Hellbats without armory finishing up. +1 attack gets started immediately. The Banshee almost has Cloak, but there's an Overseer here anyway.
She's just being targeted down right away. Already she disappears, but yo, the Zerglings have been washed off. Take me to the car wash. As they protect the Cyclones, but the Queens are going to be more than enough to keep this from pushing in. I think if the Banshee had actually gone a different direction and not fought with the army, like, go to a mineral line, right? This whole main base was exposed. That could have been devastating for Solar.
Yeah, I think that Banshee exists to, like, pick off Banelings and also help fight the Queens a little bit, but Solar's too good at this game, man. He has his mobile detection, he has Spore Crawlers, he's very, very much locked down against Banshees, and it looks like he's actually gearing up for a very, very fast hive once again, by the way. The Infestation Pit is on the way. INnoVation going for another push here, trying for a different angle. Unfortunately, there's more creep here.
Silence 975 should maybe take some advice from his own name. He says, I told casters should not be neutral, or should be neutral and not cheering for someone. Well, you know what? We're field reporters. We're StarCraft 2 field reporters here at BaseTradeTV. Casters are something you put on the bottom of a chair that look like wheels. Get the fuck out of here!
I mean, honestly, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone that's a fan of StarCraft 2 that isn't a fan of INnoVation. So, no harm there.
Guy paved the way for most of StarCraft 2, honestly. I mean, a lot of people talk about Brood War and all these other things, but INnoVation was, like, key when it came to StarCraft 2 and Terran.
Apparently there's some guy called Flash that was like the... I don't know.
That Brood War trader, you mean? I don't know who you're talking about.
Right. That game trader. I can't do it with a straight face. Blue Flame is on the way, and it's going to be Thor drops here on the way for INnoVation. Now, I actually really like the fact that he's going for Thor drops, considering that there aren't any Hydras for Solar, and that's the only thing that's a threat to this.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of Queens, but those aren't going to push these off. They won't be together. A couple dying on the front line, too. Like, this is... I like this, because usually this doesn't do a lot of damage, but this might be the one time it does. Although, if he goes straight to the base down here, it might not work out so well. Where's he going with those? I don't like this. Hydras will be out to...
man. Those are his Thors.
You know, actually, if he's going to use this with the main attack and just use the Medivacs for micro, kind of like a Protoss with for War Prism, that's still cool in my books. But I do want to point out, Solar is on Hive Tech, so no matter what's here, like Vipers come out, things are going to start getting abducted, things are going to start dying.
Well, I mean, the Vipers need to be out here, and they need to have energy for all that to happen as well. And INnoVation is trying to make a push happen.
It just takes so long for Vipers to get energy, Maynard. If only they had an ability that would let them get energy faster.
He just always has his stuff together. Send the Thors into the main base. Yeah, somewhere else.
I really think the Thor drop, like, because Gumiho is the one who really made that become a thing. His way of doing it's always been my favorite. Split those in the main. Their base armor is going to keep them alive against most things. But out here in the open, this is just awkward, frankly. He's going to use the Hellions for the harass instead, which, you know, it wouldn't be too bad if there were drones here, but there's not. He's got Blue Flame and nothing to kill with it.
Yeah, Blue Flame, very nice against Lings, very nice against Hydras, very nice against drones. Roaches, I don't give a shit. You can Blue Flame them all day long, they don't care.
Alright, so
now we're talking, no? Now we're talking.
He's got to waste time killing Spine Crawlers. Picks
up
healing
Hydra. Doesn't control it great, but at least he's, you know, splitting the Thors up for a drop play and making Solar spend a little bit of multitask and splitting his army up. Leaving a little bit of opening.
He scans the main and sees the Hive. I mean, I think he already knew there was Hive tech anyways, but he doesn't see any tech with that scan, so it's ultimately not that great. This is also scary because there's nothing to fall back to. There's no tank line set up. There's not even that great of a tank count in general. but 5 should blast through the roaches. And the Hydras are pretty fragile. Blue Flame Hellies, as you mentioned, tanks, anything that gets to shoot Hydras will usually kill Hydras.
These Vipers will have to choose between the Blinding Clouds or whether they want to duck some of these scary units. And I honestly think that Blinding Clouds might be a little bit rough. There's a good spread of tanks here. I don't know how Solar takes a good engagement with this army. It's so many tanks on the ground here for INnoVation. It's a very locked down position.
Well, Spire leading towards what is, I'm going to imagine, Broodlords is a great choice. But yeah. INnoVation, well, he's only got 2 Thors now. If it's Broodlords and he realizes it, you can actually go a lot of Thors and justify it. Thors will blast Broodlords out of the sky. Vikings and other things are always better. So either way, he's setting up to deal with Vipers. This should help him deal with the Broodlords later, should that come into play. There's not that many Vipers, though. So there's only like 19 Blinding Clouds available. Maybe even 24. I don't know. It's only 2 Vipers. Bit of lag coming in. Oh no. Please don't let this be me. Or Maynard? No! My brother! Maynard! He's just sitting here on Skype staring at me with dead eyes. No! Okay, well. A little bit awkward as we've lost Maynard for what appears to be this. Although, oh, he might be back. At least on audio, maybe. Hello? I see him moving. Maynard, can you hear me, mate?
I'm back, yeah. Sorry about that.
I think you're out of the game, though. Rest in pepperonis. Did your client just crash, or was that like an internet thing? Oh, I see. I have to talk to you on Skype. You're not back on Discord, apparently.
Not just yet. I haven't left the call, but it's not coming through.
I'm assuming you're just got it's safe to drop you, right?
I've left the game.
Okay.
So what's
Solo
this has been happening.
Baby.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Vikings came out with those parasitic bombs, landing on everything here. He takes a pretty good fight, actually. Sora's forced to be the one that walks away from this. Blue Flame Hellions are doing a lot of damage to on top of the Hydras. Roasted, toasted, but the Hydras do kill the Hellions. So he's got to fall back to his tanks. And it's a really awkward back and forth here, but INnoVation clears out that big attack out of Solar. But as expensive this may have been for Solar, this was equally expensive for INnoVation. He lost a lot of key units, and a lot of Vikings actually... Oh, if another parasitic bomb hits, all these Vikings are dead. He's got to repair these. Because, of course, anti-air will be of the essence as Broodlords come out. Greater Spire's finishing up as we speak. Anyways, a little unfortunate about Maynard's net, guys. We'll take a look into that. It happens once in a while to all of us. It's worse when it's Australia to North America, too. But, okay, I'm glad to see the repairs coming down. This is actually, for all the tweaks and changes, but to be clear, by the way, I'm making all these jokes about Vipers. If anyone thinks I'm actually balanced, well, I need to take a chill pill. But one thing I find really interesting, we saw a lot of Terran players super gung-ho to play mech with Ravens early on, and then they cut it out. They said, you know what, the healing drone is just not worth it. The other abilities are garbage. It's a little bit sad, but, like, we've also seen a couple games where repair drones win against parasitic bombs, so... If that becomes more of a problem, maybe we'll see a transition into that. But for now, it's just Vikings, Vikings, more Vikings. Not a lot of upgrades going into them. Still upgrades focus on the ground army. Abduct does grab the Thor. Ugh. But he loses a couple Hydras for it, too. A lot of Vikings about to get parasitic bombed, about to get killed by these Hydras. No chance to survive. He pulls back. He kills only 2 of the Vipers, and that costs him his entire Sky Army. And this is bad, because there's not enough Thors. There's no Widowmice. There's barely any Vikings. I don't know how he's going to deal with the Broodlords if his air army is constantly dead. That being said, though, INnoVation might not be thinking about this transition, because so far it's been focused on the Hydras, and more Hydras. Either way, his spot's looking way better this game than he did with the Bio games, that's for damn sure. Run-by set up here to the north, but looks like there is a wall off and a sensor tower, so unless he overlords in, it'll be a little bit difficult to take that fight. High ground disappears, but he leapfrogs forward with the tanks. But oh, the worst thing about tanks, that friendly fire. As the Broodlings come in, these tanks are going to be forced to unsiege, and if these are unsieged, they're not fighting against the Hydras the way they want to. There's Blue Flame Hellions to help wash off some of the Broodlings, but not enough of them, I fear. He's rallying some more Hellions to the front line now, but oh, we're just seeing friendly fire kill these tanks, guys. There's no anti-air, there's no option to run away. INnoVation taps out, and oh, rest in pepperonis. Press F to pay your respects, guys. Solar takes the series 3-0. And he's going to send us here to the grand finals with a ZvZ. Hey, Maynard, can you hear me? All right, so I'm back to Skype. Hey, Maynard, can you hear me?
Hello, mate.
Hey, dude, we'll get audio stuff sorted and fixed soon. But all right, rest in peace, INnoVation. Solar versus Rogue, though, is not a disappointing ZvZ finals. I'm very excited to see how this one plays out. It's still just a best of 5. This didn't change. This didn't increase. But reminder, one last time before we get into this, before we go to commercial break, the prize pool right now says $410. It's actually going to be $510. The missing $100 will be deposited in later. If you guys want Rogue and Solar to get a ton of extra money, consider donating to the Matcherino. Otherwise, consider donating to me and Maynard. I'm just saying, we could use some love too. But in fact, as I say that, of course, we get some bits coming in. 300 bits from Preacher SC. Thank you so much. Waking up to the voice of the main man and Riff feels good, man. Yeah, until Maynard disconnects.
Yeah, God.
Anyways, we'll feel bad and guilty and all this later. It's all good. Let's get these last couple sub shout out, go to commercials, and we'll come back for the finals ASAP. So, Reefer Love, thank you for the tier 1 brand new sub. Excuse me, tier 1, who cares? Calvin Dex came back with a prime sub for 2 months back to back, and Yohasi just now for 2 years. Rock on. Thank you very much, dude. But as I said, guys, we're going to go recalibrate stuff with Maynard. We're going to go to commercial break. When we get back, Rogue versus Solar for these finals. We'll see you soon.